Every organism that inhabits this planet shares the same basic need of feeding itself. From humans to protozoa, we all need food to fuel our internal cellular systems that keep us alive. Without food, we would die. This is a simple fact of life. Sadly, in some areas of the world, including the US, some people do not have adequate access to proper nutrition to fuel those systems. Food deserts are oases of bad health and processed food. They are areas that lack access to grocery stores or supermarkets where fresh produce or unprocessed food can be purchased. They exist in large cities as well as small towns and areas of low income. Often, the residents of these areas are at the mercy of fast food restaurants and convenience stores for meals. In 2009, the United States Department of Agriculture published the results of a one-year study to determine the amount of areas that had limited access to affordable, nutritious food. The USDA determined that 23.5 million people lived in low-income areas that were more than 1 mile away from the supermarket, which was 7.7% of the population at the time. Out of this 23.5 million, 49% were low-income families, and 8% did not have access to a vehicle. The human body is comprised of complex cellular systems that break down the foods we eat into sugars, carbohydrates, and proteins. These are the basic ingredients the body needs to generate the energy we use to breathe, laugh, sleep, and jump. Non-organic produce and meat contain residual pesticides, growth hormones, and other chemicals that were used during production to increase size, yield, and shelf life. Highly processed food and fast food are high in cholesterol, fat, salt, contain MSG and other food additives, and even GMOs. These toxins render the food consumed to be virtually barren of any nutritional value and are harmful to our bodies. Over time, they will contribute to various health problems and diseases such as cancer and diabetes. According to a study commissioned in Chicago, researchers found that residents of low-income areas with restricted access to healthy food have a greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. All hope is not lost, however. Present-day heroes like Majora Carter, Ron Finley, and Alice Waters have done tremendous work creating urban gardens and inner-city programs where youth and adults alike can participate in the sowing, growing, and harvesting of organic produce. Their work has not only created a source of healthy food for the communities, but it has also provided a common purpose for people to work together and connect with each other. You can be a hero too by getting involved with your community garden. If none exist in your area, be a fierce pioneer of sustainable food systems and start a community garden yourself. Invite your friends from school or work to tend to it with you. Donate some of the produce to a food kitchen or sell it at a farmer's market. Because no matter where you live, everyone deserves to be able to feed themselves with food that will enable them to love their families, care for their neighbors, and accomplish their dreams.